How y'all's doing? This is Uncle Nacho the Squatcho coming at you live from the Dino National Forest. I'm Nacho the Squatcho. This is what the wild things do. And I tell you, it's a little secret. I love you. This is the KUKRI. This is the Work Tough Gear Warhammer. And I've been at this thing here called knife collecting or survival blades and bushcraft survival kind of thing, going up on the 3 years. First, what inspired this former martial artist to take up that there hobby, I saw a Tom Brown thing. I was like, oh, that guy's cool. But then when I saw Joe X, I was like, oh, Slayer! Ah! And now I'm here to impart to you the knowledge that I've learned by discovering the riddle of steel. You can see that in life, you can't trust shit. You can't trust critters. You can't trust the government. You can't trust your fat ass spouse. You can't trust Chad and Tyrone in the DMs of your little significant other. You can't stop your daughter from eventually having Colin Kaepernick and Gary Coleman as a grandson. And yuns can't stop the alimony. You can't stop the global conspiracy and all the other dystopian Orwellian mischief that's about to befall us all. But before that, we got metal! And I was here to inform you that if yuns are only in the guns, you're doing yourself a little bit of disservice. Because guns, they can't like make fires. They can't play bongos. They can't fucking start fires. They can't chop food. They can't actually chop your wiener off. And I'm here to show you that maybe you don't need to spend $300 on some bad ass shit like this. And then you probably get away being a little urgler and buying made in China bullshit like the Kershaw Campaign. Or you can get my second favorite blade, which is the KUKRI. Stay tuned! Because whichever one wins out of this, which more likely to be this one, because I spent millions of dollars, they will succeed. You see, Joe X, he broke the cutlass, but he's not tapped into the KUKRI. Has the powers of the cutlass that survived the wrath of Joe. Will it also hold up in this day and age of where made in China, GSM, and tyranny befalls us all? We will see. Stay tuned. Fuck yeah. And we're gonna be talking about freedom. I hope you care about that topic. I really care about what they call the free speech. And I don't know if y'all know, but our patron saint named Joe X, he's under the gun again. He got fired from the army just for saying shit like how Europe was being cucks. They not hiding the wild, they're not hiding the kids. They got all the Saracens, the invasion. Europe, they ain't allowed to have knives right now. In America, in California, we ain't allowed to have guns. You ain't allowed to have balls. You ain't allowed to have testosterone. You're not even allowed to bang fucking biological chick. You're a racist if you don't hook up with the fat tranny that bought me a cocktail at the fucking the menagerie. And fuck, dude, don't get roofied. That's the day and age we live in. And now I'm here, without further ado, tell you, yuns ought to support Joe X, especially the other knife channels. I'm talking to you, Mr. Cloud Boys. I'm talking to you, Mr. Don B all day. I'm talking to all your cold steel. Yuns need to stick up for Joe X. Joe X is the only failure that's gonna push our niche demographic of blades and bushcraft to the forefront of new eyeballs. Yours is kind of boring compared to Joe X. Yours ain't understand. Yours are jealous. And yours afraid to get monetized, demonetized. Therefore, you don't speak up about yourself much. Y'all got the American flag on your pouch. Y'all say that you for freedom. You voted NAGA or some shit like that. You say you're a patriot and you're LARPing. You're LARPing all this tactical and prepping and patriotism. But you won't even stand up for Joe X. You don't care. You're just trying to have a little knife collecting hobby, and that's kind of stupid. I'm here to show you. Me and Joe X, we's here to show you what the fuck Excalibur really is. So without any further ado, this hit here is the Big Tip Gear of Roll Hammer. And this down here is the KUKRI. Now I'm gonna tell you some specifications and preferences of this here blades. I tell you what. So, this is the Work Tough Gear of Roll Hammer. The reason why I really like this blade is not only is it slicey, not only is it choppy, not only can it cut shit, it got a toil you can choke up here, and now it feels like a pocket knife. The back of this spine right here can scratch stuff. You can scratch mosquito bites. You can flick fire, steel. You could probably get little shavings just like this for more tender sticks. I mean, this is gold. This is gold. This motherfucker is a work tool. This motherfucker right here, not really. You could kind of do it. You can kind of do it. You can choke up right here. There's no toil, but there's also no blade. It starts about right there. You can't strike no fire rod. But I'll tell you one thing about the K-bar. This is one of the best. It's one of the best. But they fucked this up, man. You know what that should have done? That should have done, man. So it's like, it's pretty thin blade stalk, right? And then you gotta see right here, you see this is called bevel? This is a bevel. See, when you cut into something, when you chop into something, once it passes this line, there's really no more what Jordan B. Peterson calls the right blade thinness, lack of thickness. The right kind of, it eventually gets too thick behind the edge to really be so slicey, to bite in as much as this could, even though it does a good job, okay? Hollow grinds are supposed to be the sharpest. They're supposed to be the most vulnerable to breaking because they sharp and easy to sharp. But the problem is, you got what they call here that low bevel business. If they would have made this here spine thicker, and if this bevel would go a little bit higher, hopefully all the way up to there, do you know how deadly? If they did that shit, like the OKC Ontario Knife Company, like they had, it was called the SP50 or SP53. If they had this shit, just like this this is, you got a thicker spine. See that? You got a thicker back of the blade. You got a thicker spine, which adds more weight and more power. But you see, there's like no fucking bevel, bro. The bevel like goes up the way here. So that means when you finally bite into something, that thing bites in. That means if you got attacked, if this was as sharp as possible, and you got attacked by some wild critter or some feral meth head, if you get lucky enough to strike this person, you don't have to worry about slipping and falling and getting mauled or running out of breath or burning too much calories and then dying and losing your water or your gear. If this can bite all the way through there just right nice, it hits something spinal cordally, you will turn that animal off and you will desist and you will end the confrontation. That's why we're here. That's why you want to subscribe. I give you all these details because unlike the other knife collector channels, fucking might as well be into like Klingons near your anus and lopping furries and shit. So knife collecting. Now, me and Joe X, We is here showing you what the fuck. We is in quest for Excalibur. We looking for the most ultimate blade. Now let me get here. I'll show you a little bit about the sheaths, the seats, you know. So the worktop get a wall hammer. I added all these kind of accoutrements. This was the bandolier or the shoulder band of my bass guitar. I traded steel for steel. And then look at here, all this doohickeys. It doesn't really matter. I got some ferro rod shit going on. I taped, I fucking paracord. It doesn't matter. What matters is this is Codex, and this version of the Warp 12 gear of Wallhammer that's got the G10 scales or something like that, right? But for some reason, I don't know why, but they got a cord. It is fastly deployable. You can get it out in time for the zombie apocalypse. Really quick, like. I don't trust this little code. I don't know how long that's gonna last. So I put like, instead of being able to put like a fire rod or some other important shit in here, I put extra codes in case of the day, the zombie apocalypse, and this thing lets me down with this stupid little code. I got extra codes, right? I don't know why it's got a code. If you look at tops, the top's nice. If you look at the El Tete, if you look at the Stone Victor, they ain't got no strings like this. They actually got leather and they got a little snap that only goes in one direction, so it's safe. I don't know why. I don't know why Yuns did that to me. That's why, I don't know, I'm probably gonna get leather suit, but whatever, it works. Sheath, people like Codex, fucking it. With the fucking cable, Amazon lied. Amazon told me that the back of this or some shit was leather. It was Cordura, and it's not leather at fucking all, you fucking lies. Yuns lies. Yuns lies. With cable, the handle. Nah, dude, the handle is so good. I mean, will it eventually start riding up and like really drag on your pinky, kind of uncomfortable? Yes, but that's the best it gets, y'all. You don't need what they call a lanyard. You don't need a string right here to wrap your little doohickey paws in to grip this tighter, which is, if you want to learn that little technique, if you want to see other intricacies of this blade, look up a spa channel. I don't know if it's still around. The channel was called Fun in the Woods by really big monkey. We're all critters out here. You got monkeys, you got scotches like me, and you got fellas like you that's gonna symbiosis and Wendigo and skinwalker and transmorphosize the way into eventually getting like me or Joe X. Joe X and Arnold Schwarzenegger are the two most famous Austrians that ever existed, in so much that in the 1990s, David Hasselhoff was dancing for them while they tore down the Soviet wall just to go west to be closer to Joe. That's a fact that you ought to know. So, all right, this thing right here, the KUKRI, this thing hits so hard. And you see this thing here? You can kind of sharpen that. See, this is the real edge, but this is that false edge. You can sharpen that false edge. Now you got almost like a little bit of a fat spare, especially for self-defense. If you were going for the eyes, like what they call a Stradivarius or some shit like that in Greco-Roman times. Right? It has got no power, got so much power, and it stays in your hand. When you got handles like this, it's hard to throw if you're a thrower. You can't really grab it like that. You got to do some other kind of shit to get that out of your way. It really stays in your hand. I really like that. Actually, this is so much faster to deploy. With this smooth ass sheath, even though people would rather have Codex, you could do that felony carry, gangster carry shit. Woo! And then I got really good at it. I could be like pew 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 and snap all these snaps off, little snaps shit. Maybe you need some practice. Maybe you only have one there and try not to cut off your pecker if it starts getting out in place. But the info that I do, I'll show you. Hold on here. I gotta get even more buff. I gotta symbiosify And I got to show yous what we live here. I apologize. My channel is very rudimentary. I don't have any special effects. It doesn't cut to nothing. It's what it is. It's kind of like the YouTube 15 years ago in my world. But, all right. So as Jones was saying in the beginning of this here episode, it's chopping. Let's see if it bites in, okay? Let's see, y'all. Okay, I sharpened this as good as it's gonna get for the abuse and possible reprofiling it needs, to be honest. But I sharpened the shit out of this with shit like supposedly diamond coated last night. It's pretty sharp. You seen that it can cut things. Okay? But look at here. Right here, it fell off. Hey, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is this stupid ass little bevel business? Hey, you just sold me, this is supposed to K-bar. Oh, K-bar's a marine knife and shit. Oh, I feel safe with this. Yins just lied to me. I probably gotta die. I was relying on this to be a formidable weapon. I thought it would bite into there. I thought it was really body. I thought I could do that there thing I was talking about where you can shut the animal off in case it really is trying to bite your pecker off. But now look at it. We spent almost $300 for the work to get a wall hammer that's really hard to get. NC Hungless is also discontinued or some shit. So, let's say this thing here has got a little bit more bite. A little bit more bite. Get the fuck off me. Let's see. Well, let's say it didn't stay, but fucking A, it made a huge ass welt. Okay, see how that's what, fucking sorry, fucking. That's what I, fucking stupid bitch. Look, that's what I want to say. That's what I want to say in my blades. All that low bevel business, that's for people that can't cut what you call a curve. I'm just letting you know, like, especially in this fucking wasteland, I gotta clear trails. I gotta get loose debris out of my face. I gotta get flies and bees out of my face. So I want something that can slice. Sometimes I run out of toilet paper and I need to cut an old piece of clothing to get some fucking toilet paper and shit, right? But with that low bevel business, sometimes I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck, dude? It don't fucking work. Stupid. But that's what I want to say. I want to see my blade stick, baby. And then look, I tell you what. So we established that shit will stick. It will. It's got what they call them there, the bite. But this here, K-bar, this for. Oh, it's got a hollow grind. A hollow grind's the sharpest knife. You son of a bitch. You fucked this up. You should have copied OKC. Made this spine at least, 0.2 inches thick. With a full flat or saber fucking grind. Don't advertise this as a weapon. You fucks. See, I'm here, fucking. Only me and Joe X will give a shit about trying to show you what the fuck Excalibur is. Now we're gonna do a my next video when I replace, I love this blade still. I trained with it. I kind of this when I find its replacement, I will probably give this a torture test, guys. My torture test is not as probably not as entertaining or as badass as Joe's, but I will come up with something. I have things in mind that will really tickle your fancy to, it's not a bad blade. And the fact that it's made to be lightweight for how much power this can generate in a strike is extremely light. And for how thin and how light and non-full tang it is, trust me, I've had like 3 or 4 of these. It's extremely durable. The worst that will happen is this blade will get loose inside the handle, like it'll wobble back and forth. And then I tried to twist and pry and snap it on purpose, it wouldn't break. I've tried to break one of these on purpose, and the worst that happened is the blade got wobbly inside the handle. That's it. This is full tang. This has a decent skull crusher. I mean, it's not exactly the best. The best, if you're ever into these things, glass breakers, skull crushers, the best one I've ever seen is on a blade, a knife that I really like, but it's not a high bevel. It's not a high saber. It's not a full flat. It's the Tops SXB skull crusher by some dude named EJ Snyder. EJ Snyder was some kind of like military porn star that like went to this island and like snagged a bunch of chicks that had malaria with just the knife. I don't know. He was on some porn channel called like afraid naked chicks afraid in the wilderness or some shit. And he made the SXB, and fucking it's my favorite buoy. But the reason why I got rid of the XSB was the very day I was in my natural habitat. I was like, oh fuck, I gotta take a shit. Oh, I don't have toilet paper. Oh, and then I got like an old piece of towel. I was like that with the SXB. It wouldn't fucking slice it, dude. And then other people will be like, oh, cause you didn't know how to sharpen it. You didn't know how to sharpen the quarter round. Fool. So you sharpen the quarter round. Oh, yeah. So you own the SXB, huh? Yeah. You fucking sharpened it. Oh, so you sharpened it with the work sharp fucking grinder, belt sander. Oh, yeah. Fuck you, you dumb shit. I only sharpen my shit with shit that you're gonna sharpen it if you are in a survival situation, and remember to bring the fucking blade. I even try to sharpen this shit on rocks. It's a very hit or miss. It's easier to do with a hatchet. I'll tell you all the tips and tricks. Me and Joe are here for you. We're gonna deliver you the knowledge of Excalibur. Riddle of Steel, baby. Now we're gonna do like a tip test or some shit. Not Joe's tip test, because T from Cold Steel would be exasperated and in love. Cold Steel can't have that. They have to have that Luke guy instead. See, this here, I don't want to hit my leg, so watch out, it could deflect. Nice. Now, sorry about that, you guys can't see. Now, this K-bar is an even better, stabber, okay? That's very minimal effort. I'm not putting a lot of weight behind that. The weight of the handle, see how much, it's not that just penetrates more. This is so much heavier in the handle for being full tang that it's eventually gonna come off. But this one's a good stabber. And for not having a hand guard, guys, in case you don't know, you see those old fancy Bowie knives that have like a big old brass thing right here? Like a brass thing on my finger's brass. So when you stab something, your hand doesn't slide up to the blade. It stops right here on that brass, that brass level. So for not having that, when you stab something, this is a very, I wouldn't doubt that the K-bar KUKRI is the best thruster or the best piercing for a KUKRI. But K-bar fucked up, dude. They could have made this the best. They could have made this one of the best weapons and knives there is if they modeled OKC and they made this a thicker spine. I would prefer it like 6 millimeters or whatever. What was that? Like 0.3, 0.25 millimeters thick or something. I'm not really good at math. Like a 1/4 inch thick, full saber, full flat grind. Okay, you want to give it a convex edge? Sure. What the fuck that means, guys, is you see how there's this fucking stupid line right there? That's a bevel, right? That's fucking really low. This shit, machetes are stupid because that's really what's gonna give you a fucking real, the kind of weapon I'm looking for. The benefit to a low bevel like this, if you're fighting a human being, animal, whatever, I'm not trying to sound all badass. What if you're in a life or death situation? Boom, it's not gonna get stuck, and then now you don't have a weapon. Now the wild pig is running around with something stuck in it. Okay. I'm pretty sure that could happen depending on how strong or how your strike placement. I'm pretty sure. You get the point. Whereas a low bevel like this, it's going to make a huge surface gash, slice out, and this one right here. This is not meant for. This is not like an axe, a one hitter quitter. This is bow 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 bow. That's like if you had to defend yourself against a wild animal or feral crackhead with this, you're gonna be out of breath. You're going to be screaming. You're gonna have to have the balls and mental wherewithal to keep this in your hand and keep bludgeoning them until they hold. You will use a lot of cardio. This as it stands, without that high saber grind, without really being able to pierce, like whatever, to really chop in the vitals and only do surface wounds. I suspect this is a thing that if you had to take something's life with it, you're gonna get hurt too, because this is it's not like now if a wild pig was charging you, I'm pretty sure that's a horrible day. If you did have the fucking luck to hit it in the top of the head with a spiked tomahawk, it's a pretty good fucking start. These are all considerations to consider that I have a tomahawk here somewhere. With any kind of axes, you could get an overstrike. You could get an overstrike, meaning like instead of hitting with the axe head, you want here to hit with the stick. Okay? This is one of the reasons why the bushcraft people that I come from, I'm not saying an expert bushcrafter, they like big knives more than hatchets and axes. Because even though this doesn't have as much power as a hatchet or an axe, the margin of error, there's no overstriking. This is hitting something. This is, whether it's here, depending on the movement of the animal, it's definitely hitting something. And yeah, guys, so anyways, I'm out here. Let's do some sharpness shit. Okay, fuck it, yeah. If this was the only tool I had out in the field, I could start a fire with this as long as I had a ferro rod or a lighter. This is really nice, dude. I mean, that feels... This Work Tough Gear Warhammer, using it like a fucking pocket knife, a kitchen tool, right? It's sometimes even more comfortable than using something... This is an SE4. It's almost... Sometimes it's even more comfortable. Yeah, I think it really gets feather sticks out of this. But I'm cutting rags and shit like that, or big pieces of cloth. I'd honestly rather have the Work Tough Gear. So yeah, guys, that's it. So, so far, this worked. One thing about the Work Tough Gear though, this I need a lanyard. I need to put a fucking a lanyard through this. Some paracord. Remember, I'm using lanyards on variants of machetes. The channel Fun in the Woods by Really Big Monkey. If you're in the machetes, that's a very good channel to learn about machetes. He also really likes this blade, the K-bar. It just stays in your hand really good, the K-bar, and it's really lightweight. I mean, this whole bulky thing, when I go hiking, I don't like to carry it because my hikes lately, I haven't been spending the night out there. I pretty much get the fuck out by dawn, and I could just bring like a lighter if I'm going to start a campfire. So this is my survival tool. This is my bug out knife because it has. So basically, in my little training world, guys. So I have a a single wall thermos. The thermos is a thermos, fucking thermos, a water thermos. And you can actually put it in a fire. You can cook with it. You can boil water in it. If you try to get your average thermos, even if it's metal as fuck and not plastic from your local Walmart, you put in a fire, it's gonna blow up because it's double walled. So I got a single wall thermos to boil water in, and I look at it this way, guys. This knife with the ferro rod in it, with extra shit in it, right? And that thermos, that is actually the two most important things I own besides like fucking arms and a dick and a leg and eyeballs and, your bodily form, dude. Because in a survival situation, in a bug out situation, let's say California got, Camp Pendleton got nuclear bombed, some major traffic grid shit, an EMP, there's some kind of major national fucking emergency, okay? Especially if it's like February or March, guys. With that fucking thermos and with this knife and some fucking tarp or whatever, I could come out here and I can fucking live, dude. I mean, like I'm not a survival expert, but there's a cactus to eat. It's not a lot of calories, right? I think those are nettles. I could be wrong. That's probably actually an edible fucking plant right there. I know. I have a general idea what nettles are, and I know we have a lot of them. But people worry about their Bitcoin. People worry about their Mercedes or their stock exchanges. I lived a life that it's so fucking like ridiculously poor and obscure. I don't mean to cry a river like what's that called? Like the Republicans accuse the libtards of doing. It's just a fact. And in my mind, in my rationale, okay, I'm a different kind of person, right? I don't look at those things as important, like mortgage, fucking Bitcoin or stock market, whatever normal people, whatever boomers are fucking investing in. I'm not privy or understand that. What I understand for an investment and a backup plan is this, with the ferro rod and the fucking thermos that could cook water, and February and March, there's a stream right over there that's probably polluted as fuck. I've made coffee out of water and didn't die, evidently, thank you God. But while everybody else is worried about getting robbed or pillaged, a person like me could live like Rambo out here. I'm not that badass. Another thing I'm trying to say, guys, is the government sucks because the government don't want you to live like me, guys. I'm a different cat, guys. I never had parents. I never had holidays. I don't know what it is to get presents on Christmas or some stupid shit like that. I set out to be as free as possible. I remember my friends' dads and stepdads so jealous and mad at me at how free I was. I only want a cell phone as my only bill that I pay. I'm not saying that happens, right? I have to pay car insurance or some other dumb shit, right? I don't want a mortgage. I don't care about settling down with some chick that's gonna get fat and flirt with fucking Tyrone and Chad in the DMs and go to work with her yoga pants and tits hanging out, okay? I don't want snot-nosed kids that are gonna waste all my energy and youth and fucking, instead of doing fun things that I wanna do, I'm some pot-bellied, sad, fucking two-job working, addicted to energy drinks with a fucking bad prostate with some nagging bitch about to take me for fucking alimony shit. I live free as fuck, and I cannot convey to you how much I've gotten fucked with over it. But just looking obscure and looking vagrant, it just makes you antisocial, dude. Nonetheless, without further ado, what I'm trying to get at is, coming from a person with a mentality like me, whatever it's fucking worth, the two things you need in life besides God and fucking health and freedom of speech and shit is a blade that you could pick up. I could just grab this and go. Now I have a very decent weapon. I have something that could start a fucking fire, okay? I got another companion knife. This usually holds a fucking flashlight or some shit. Remember, think practical, right? Shit that you need. Doesn't have to hold a flashlight. Maybe you need tweezers and a multi-tool in there because you get splinters and shit or something like that. You get what I mean? Just you grab one thing that holds a bunch of other things, so I don't have to go digging through a pack. If I lose my pack, I can still relatively start a fire, as long as I find a baton out here for my knife. And then with the double wall thermos shit, right, as whatever water source I find, I can fill up the fucking water source, use a bandana for a filter, pour it in, try to get another bottle somewhere, pour the bottle through the fucking rag of as a makeshift filter inside the thermos, heat up the fucking thermos, you kill the bacteria at least, whatever other pollutants are in there, I don't know, and you live for a while. So in my mind, the two things that you need the most besides freedom is freedom and balls to keep that shit going, is a ferro rod attached to a badass knife that can chop and fucking get you tinder. Okay, in case you guys don't know, man, like, you can't take a lighter and put it to a log. You have to get you have to cut and find a bunch of little things to start building a fire small, because it's a lot easier to burn this dry leaves and shit, right? That shit, right? So, like, they would fucking, I'm not even gonna take my ferro rod out. I could scrape sparks here and then put it out. No, with how dry everything is I don't know why these rangers, I don't know why people fuck with me out here, the authorities. You guys, look at the shit on the ground. If I was a nefarious person, if you guys really pissed me off, I could catch this all on fire. Okay? I'm not that kind of person, dude. I'm part Native American. I give a fuck about nature and shit. I want to come back out here. I don't throw beer bottles and fucking tires and tarps and dumb shit like other family-oriented pieces of worthless shit that say that they're good people. I don't litter out here. Not excessively. I'll litter on accident. I'll bury toilet paper or something like that, dude. But like, it's like biodegradable. Anyways. But they get mad at me because supposedly I hit vegetation that's still alive or whatever. I go looking for dead vegetation. It's easier to start a campfire that way. 2, I'm sorry, but I don't go hitting every tree with my axes and my fucking knives. Okay? As a human, I was once a human being like you. Then I transmogrified into the skin-walking Wendigo, repentant Nephilim that you're striving for through achieving metal nirvana. Okay, all of you out there, right? You're meditating on the riddle of steel. You're also trying to commune with nature to symbiosify and transmogrify into the beast, right? And achieve that kind of nirvana like I have. That's why you're here, right? I know your heart. But other than that, wow, look at the bandit. See, this is the kind of shit that pisses me off, dude. The bandolier broke the fuck off. I'll fix that. But as a former human, we're made in the image and likeness of God. And if it makes me happy to exercise by picking one tree and practicing on it, my mental health and my exercise and everything they try to shut down during the COVID lockdown is more important than one fucking tree. I understand that if 250 million American citizens got up tomorrow and started hitting 7 trees and chopping them up, that might be bad. I understand that. I'm talking about one person who fucking loves one stupid tree, and I'm practicing my axe throwing on it and shit. If you're a tree hugger or whatever, get the fuck out of here, dude, because you're trying to virtue signal, okay?
I have Native American blood in my family, and I'm telling you right now, the resources were put on the earth for human consumption. Just don't be a fucking douchebag about it. And when they keep driving me away to go further and further into the forest, you fucking geniuses, it's gonna mean I'm gonna fuck up more trees. I'm a fucking Bigfoot. I knock on trees, dude. What the fuck? I mate with trees. How do you think saplings happen? How do you think them things happen? You don't know about the birds and bees? So, I'm Nacho the Squatcho, and so far, guys, I gotta be a douchebag and ask you to subscribe and follow me so I can keep going live and bring to you the knowledge of the riddle of steel. And I'm imploring you to go visit the Joe X channel, subscribe to him, and comment. And be like, Mr. Squatcho sent me, I love you. If you do that for me, I'll love you. So, work tough gear. This is my best blade. This is my bug out blade. I'm looking for a new beta. I did love this herb blade. I'm planning to go get the Essa. Essa, y'all's heard of Essa? Everybody loves Essa. Essa is this American company that makes 1095 high carbon steel blades. They are the proprietors of the legendary Essa hungers. And them's a good people. They have a no questions asked guarantee. So them there, if I break this here blade, if some fat chick sits on it and they fuck it up, I could just mail it in and they don't ask for a receipt. They don't ask who I am. They don't ask them when I bought it. They just give you a new one. That's the kind of love. That's the kind of love I have for you. I love you. So somebody wrote, what the hell? How you doing, Aquario? So this is Nacho the Squatto. You are a fellow freedom fighter enthusiast that's gonna go tell Joe X hello. And you're gonna stand up for all of our Confederate rights against the global aristocracy, technocracy, Illuminati, fucking lizard people, Epstein fucking disciples. And we's gonna take back our freedom, starting with the blade. Ah! That's why I get kicked out of the forest, guys. So somebody's like, hey, I think your name is Mario. What's up, Mario? I am Nacho the Squatcho. I am Uncle Squatcho. I am an ordained pastor Squatch. And I am imploring y'all to, I'm trying to basically spread the word, guys. We living in a time where we think it's right versus left. We think it's white versus black. We think it's Republican versus whatever. It's the government versus you. Everywhere in the world, they're trying to fuck all rights. You ain't allowed to be free, and I'm sick of it. And I'm here telling the other knife channels, the other guys that do hickeys, I'm telling them they're not using their platform. Their channel's bigger than mine. And they want to get them there what called the monetized, and they ain't doing that patriotic duty to ensure that all yours I love experience the freedom that I have in my Generation X niche of the wild. And I'm here to bring awareness to you. I ain't joking. We need to go fixing the water of the tree a little bit of them there called the sangre of the blood of the patriot and tyrants brought to you. But they're not doing it. I'm here to tell them. Basically telling the other people that could speak up for Joe, that could speak up for you. They're not doing it. They're just out here knife collecting and playing shit. So the fat wife is like with the dildo, like, get on in here and stop playing with that childish shit, you lopping little fucking, fucking wannabe, fucking so, yeah, it's getting old. And they ain't using their platform. They ain't using the God-given influence to make sure that they push the ingredients of freedom. You gotta be a little thorn prick in your life. Your bone is one individual person, and you're meant to be a little thorn prick to evil people in this life. You and somebody else, all together, we make up a big old hole of porcupine, and we get old prospects, but they don't care. I'm here to call them out, and I love you. I guess I gotta go, guys. Somebody needs sleep. Cool. Now remember, guys, this was What the Wild Things Do. I'm Uncle Squatcho. I'll tell you a little secret. I love you.